What's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're having some fun. We're going to play another Gruul deck, but we're also playing it in a little Bard Class setup. Now, we did play a Bard Class deck as recently, I believe is November, maybe middle of November, but I'm pretty sure that was a Nihilist, and that was actually pretty fun. We played some different things there. I think we had Taurens in that one, and Drizzit was in that list. But we wanted to try something a little bit different and see if we kept it just red-green, were there enough tools that we could still compete with this more defined metagame? Because, you know, time has passed since then. It's been 2 months. Like, does this still work the way we want? Can we beat the decks that we think we need to beat? So, this is going to be a little bit of a fun exploration, but let's see if we can get the job done. Now, don't forget, before we get into this, that you should pay some love to our friends over at shop.ultrapro.com, mostly because UltraPro has a bunch of sweet-ass gear, so go check it out. If you want some stuff for any of your collectibles, any type of protection for them, go check them out. Whether you've got full card boxes, whether you've got collectible baseballs, magic cards, whatever, they've got you covered. Alright, so on this list, there's not going to be a lot of cards that are new. We've played these in other lists, so these all should be familiar for most of you. But we'll still go down the list here. Jaspera Sentinel, mostly because we're wanting to use as much mana as we can every turn and to double and triple spell, or to even get us the option of being able to have multiple colors, right? Because though it is red and green, we squeezed in another color here. But Magda, again, being able to make the treasures, giving us multiple colors, letting us play multiple spells a turn. Same thing with the Prosperous Innkeeper, though this does give us a little bit of life gain, which is notable. And then Bard Class, like we talked about as part of the deck. The interesting thing about Bard Class is you do get caught sometimes when you go to level 3 trying to decide like when it's worth it to play a spell or not, because you don't want to waste too many cards that you may not be able to cast or lead to a situation where we lose something that you may want later. So that is a little bit of a balancing act, but all your creatures coming into play with an extra counter on them is very good in and of itself and helps a lot. Targnar, this is okay, mostly getting played because he's free under a leveled Bard class, and it does pump your power whenever you attack, and sometimes by himself he can be lethal, so worth it. Eska, God of the Tree. Now you're probably like, why are we playing 4 Eskas? One, that it gives us any color mana we want from every one of our creatures effectively. Well, the majority of them anyway. But also this backside with the Prismatic Bridge. We are able in some scenarios to play this on turn 3. That's pretty powerful stuff. So we want to give ourselves at least the opportunity that if we can, we want to at least go for it. So we'll see how it plays out. Then we have 3 Eska's Chariot because this card's still ridiculous. 2 Kolvari, God of Kinship, mostly because this does a lot of things for the deck. A lot of times it's going to be a 6/6 attacker. Well, possibly a 7/7 actually because of Bard Class. It can actually let you look at the top cards of your library, find another thing so you can kind of keep your train going. But if you're tight for mana, you can just play the Ringheart Crest and still be able to cast the majority of your cards with that extra green mana. So lots of things this card does for us, and it's pretty affordable considering what it gives you. Now we are trying 1 Sereth. I know people keep saying, you should put this in a deck and whatever. I'm like, I don't know, man. So we're going to try it out. It's legendary. It's a green creature. It could let us do multiple things. I will say what's funny here, though, is you can actually do some fun stuff with, like, Magda, because you can tap Magda, say, to a Jaspera Sentinel, then you can untap Magda, and then you can use Magda for the Chariot if you want to just generate treasure and stuff. So there's a couple of, like, silly things you could do with this card. I don't know how good any of them are, but it could also let you attack and then get a creature as a blocker, or untap a creature to give it hexproof. So it's not like it has no uses, but we're just going to see how good it is. Now we are playing 4 Helana and Elena because this card is probably the best card in the deck, and I feel in a lot of ways this card is one of the most important cards against the mono white aggro list. So you may have to keep that in mind whenever you're playing. Then we have 2 Inferno of the Star Mounts for 2 reasons. One, we can often cast this for 4 mana or 5 mana or less, but sometimes we can get a free one from Magda. So we had to have some dragons in there to at least make it worth it for the occasional time that comes up. And then Vorinclex because we have multiple things putting counters on things, where you're talking about Bard Class or you're talking about Helana and Elena, and this is just giving you more counters. Plus it's haste, you know, so if your opponent does sweep the board, you can come in with this after the fact and do some damage. Lands, we didn't get too fancy. We're doing 2 Den of the Bugbear, 4 Mountains, 7 Forest, 2 Lair of the Hydra, 4 Crackground Pathway, and 4 Rockfall Vale. So we're not reinventing the wheel there. We do have a fair amount of mana sources in this deck. We're talking about Despair Sentinel, Magda, Prosperous Innkeeper, technically Bard Class, also reducing cost of things, and Eska, God of the Tree. So that's a lot of ways to be able to cast things, so we shouldn't get stuck too often. We should be able to do everything we want to do. But as usual, there's only one way to find out. We're going to play the games, and then we'll talk about what we would update in this list and have a card spotlight for you. I think that's what we're aiming for most of the time. So we'll go ahead and keep this. Probably just going to Despair Sentinel into Innkeeper and hope for the best. I mean, we could then Targnar. Actually, we can almost play this, actually. Whoop, not that. I'm fine putting that on red. I'm willing to attack and gamble. Alright, let's see what you got, opponent. Elite Spellbinder. Alright, you get your pick of the things. Not what I expected to see the opponent play here after going white, blue, blue on lands, but let's see what they want to do. That's not a bad choice of what to stop there. I don't actually want to use our treasure. Not yet. Alright. The life gain should help us out a little bit here. If they're playing some type of Azorius aggressive thing. This could be just some weird mid-rangey something or other. Who knows? Valkmira. Alright. We're not too concerned about Valkmira, really. It's a thing that does a thing, but not a thing that we're overly concerned about. Activate, attack, make token, deal 3. Could play this, but I still feel like they might have some type of sweeper. And I would be more inclined to worry about that. This is a weird thing. The problem is, like, credit to the opponent, because right now I have no idea what possible cards they'd be willing to play. I for real just don't know. So with that in mind, we're just going to attack with these. I mean, because really, I don't even know if it's even worth playing anything at all here. Like, do I just wait? I can play this after the fact and then play Vorinclex. Like, sure. And then if they figure it's worth sweeping the board. Okay, there's a Teferi. Alright, this deck's wild. I don't know what it is. Oh, they're just looking for cards even. They're not even untapping anything. It kind of makes sense. I'm probably just attacking the opponent, really. Actually, you know what? I was going to say, that's not totally true. I'm probably sending... Well, I have to send the tokens into Teferi, I guess. Would make the most sense. Alright, so let's go tokens into Teferi. This, and you know what? Let's just send everything into it. Yeah, I guess we just do that and get rid of it. That's the smartest thing. Unless they have a Fading Hope or something. Alright.
This is hardly my worst.
I think we just play this and then we pump it. And we just end the turn. When you're playing Teferis and Valkmiras, like, I'm going to assume there's some type of sweeper here on some level. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking. Because we could have just bum rushed the opponent at this point. All right. Could bounce a chariot. I wouldn't be upset about that. Well, now we can do all kinds of things. We need one more treasure or just spare a sentinel to be able to play this, play the prismatic bridge. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. And just say how you feel about that, opponent. Fateful absence. Yeah, all right, sure. Like, that doesn't really change enough of anything to really bother us. That's fine. It's better that than the chariot right now. The chariot's allowing us to kind of play the game at our speed, how we want to. All right, all these are going to go here. This is going here. So yeah, right now we don't have to be in any hurry whatsoever. Opponent's even down to 2 cards. If they get a sweeper, we can level up. We can play Targnar. We can play Sereth.
Me here will have all the time.
Okay. I mean, not sure what your plans are here, opponent, but I'm sure we're going to find out. Let's tap those. Go to attacks. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 into Teferi, just in case they have any shenanigans in hand.
I really should have seen that.
And then I'm just going to play a land and level this up. End the turn. And we have 8 damage on board, so we'll see what they want to do. That's probably death for them. And not necessarily. They could still find a thing to kill the chariot, and that would keep them alive, because we'd only be attacking for 6. Stadium, yeah, that's not going to do it. They're not dead yet, though. Barring us finding a hasty creature or some such. So here, do I want to dig for one is the question. Let's use this. I don't want to know if I want to spend too many cards hunting. Well, okay, we'll do it now since it's free and we have a backup. Mostly looking for something like, well, not that, but could work out fine, I guess. I was mostly looking for maybe, Helana and Elena. Which I feel like we go ahead and still do, because if we find it, we'd be able to play it with this. So let's see what we get. Because we can tap Despair Sentinel and Innkeeper. Well, those didn't find it either. Well, I guess it is what it is. I don't really want to dig any deeper here. Let's tap things that can't attack. Despair Sentinel's just getting in there for fun. I'm doing nothing else with that mana. Alright, we're going to lose our 2 Kolvoris. But that's mostly fine. I mean, opponent's at 2. Yep, you got a Doomscar, opponent. Alright, we start here. Those don't really get us there, but I mean, if they can't do anything to the chariot, that's kind of it anyway. Kind of want to go get... I want to dig for insurance here, I think is what I'm aiming for. So let's see if we can... These both cost 3. Yeah, alright. Let's go one time. Ugh, come on. I play 4 of those for a reason. So if I play this now, that only leaves us 3 mana. Alright, well, let's see if the opponent has an answer to the Chariot. We'll copy a treasure token. Alright, weird. They didn't have counter spells or anything that whole time. Alright, we're gonna keep. There are some scenarios with whatever we draw off the top being possibly really good. Let's see what we get, though. That is not one of the things we were hoping to draw. So now the question is, do I want to have an Innkeeper or do I want Bard? I think I want just Bard Class here. I think. Not sold on that answer one way or the other. This did not do anything to help us at all, deck. Let's get green, tap that. Activate this. I mean, they can still bounce our Bard Class just to put 3 counters on a Smoldering Egg, which wouldn't be miserable for them. Be totally viable. Oh my gosh. Man, look how much mana we drew. And this is now kind of the sad part. My opinion on Standard doesn't matter. You either play or you don't. That's where I'm at on Standard. Make of it what you will. I know that sounds rude. I apologize, but like, my opinion's irrelevant at this point. Alright, I'm going to do this just to get cards. I mean, if you watch any of my videos, I tell you all the time what Standard looks like, what to play against, what's out there. I let everybody make their own opinions at this point. I've got to make content one way or the other. Alright. I'm assuming they're just going to bounce our Bard Class. No, Thirst for Discovery. It was not a bounce our Bard Class. Ooh, I am so wrong. Generally speaking, though, I will say this. If you want to know what's in Standard, Mono White, Epiphany, Control decks. That's Standard right now. However you feel about that, one way or the other is how you feel, but that's what's out there. If you don't like playing against those things, don't fire up Standard. If you're okay playing against those things, fire away. I am going to... Guess I'm gonna do this. I mean, I feel like I'm wasting cards because I could have hit something maybe I could play. That's not bad. We can go ahead and play this because we don't really get anything out of it. I mean, we get a point in. Might as well play it, though. I'm going to lose the card otherwise. And that could matter for next turn. Point of life is not irrelevant either. Alright. Let's see what the opponent does here. They only need 4 to flip their... Oh, okay. Well, there's that. Oh, this is at least interesting. We'll keep this. Any chance... I was going to say that we could draw Despair Sentinel, but no luck. Yep, that's going to slow us down, sadly. I actually wanted to play the Ringheart Crest on this turn, and now I can't. I mean, realistically, we can't even play our Bard Class, which also sucks, but 'tis what it is. Alright, now we just need an untapped land, and I think we're just going to play Helana and Elena, and if they get tapped, they get tapped. Or, I mean, get exiled. You know, we'll just accept it. Actually, I say that. Maybe... I'm thinking it could be possible to want to play Eska here. And say, but I don't know, we can play this and still have our treasure for next turns. That's fine. I mean, not our treasure, but our mana to play Eska anyway. So that's reasonable. I think we go ahead and attack. Brutal Cathar makes sense. We knew those were coming at some point. Boo. Well, now it's just hoping you don't have more exile things, but I assume they do. The way they played this last couple of turns. We're probably going to see another one here. And I would get rid of Eska right now, too. Knowing that we're stuck on lands, I would absolutely do that. Yep. That's totally the correct play. And what's funny is Thalia has wrecked our life right now. Like, not even joking. Like, Thalia has made our life terrible. I mean, good news is we're at 13, but we're getting really close to dead here. I mean, if the opponent just attacks with everything, we're going to take 10, 11, 12, and we don't have a comeback the following turn. Oh, yeah. We're dead. Like, we get to go first. Sure. Why not? This is one that's going to lean on Bard Class pretty hard, I think. So I think we're just going to level Bard Class on 3. And then hope, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we just play the Ringheart Crest? Not too sure. I mean, unfortunately, this says other creatures have hexproof. So it doesn't really help our case. But we'll go ahead and do this. And we'll just play this. Ah, it actually survives. That's a surprise. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. Either way, it works for us. Either one is fine. And we'll just pass. Mostly because we can make treasure with Magda, so there's no point just letting Magda die for 0 reason. Might as well get some benefit out of it. Creepy Puppeteer. Alright, that's a card we don't see very often, huh? And he turns something else into a 4/3? Like, why don't I just block both of them? I mean, that seems like the right play. And then I'll just make a treasure on the way out. An interesting choice of cards by the opponent. Because I'll still have a token I can copy and just make more creatures, so I'm mostly okay with that. And then we can play that tapped. We could play Sereth, I guess. Like, I'm trying to decide if I want to play Sereth or Kolvari here, actually. But I think Sereth is the way we want to go. So let's do that. Mostly because Kolvari can pseudo-tutor, I mean, can search. So, you know, I want to be able to take advantage of that. Not knowing what the opponent's up to just yet, I think I'm actually going to copy a treasure and give us some stuff post-sweeper, if they have one. I probably should be going for more damage, but I'm just kind of curious what's happening right now. Brutal Cathar. Getting rid of Sereth, sure. So I don't think they're playing a bunch of sweepers, as it turns out. So I may have chosen poorly last turn. Tap these two. And we'll attack. Okay. I mean, if they do sweep the board now, we at least get the 3/4 back. And oh, Blade Historian's hanging out over there. Look at that. Yeah, we'll just take 4. Whatever. Neat. Don't hate that. You know what? If we activate this, we then control 3 legendary creatures, which would make Kovari a big bad. And we'll have Vigilance. And we like that. And we'll attack. Save this back. Copy this. Yeah, what was I say? Ooh. Ooh. Well, as I say that, we draw 2 Halana Lenas. Alright, well, we'll keep this. Hopefully we'll draw another land. There we go. So we'll get at least 1 use of a Halana and a Lena before... Actually, we probably need to draw another land, but for now, this will have to do. Ooh, that's almost good enough. Alright, attacking. Now, they can play something here where, you know, they gain life. It'll get a bonus counter, whatever. But, are you going to deal with our Halana and Elena is the question. They very well might. Okay, that's actually not bad for us. That turn could have went way, way, way worse. We actually like this. If they're taking their turn off to kill our things instead of doing bigger, better things, that's good. Oh, now they're just blocking. Uh-oh. It's not the sign you're looking for from your opponents. Does that mean Doomscar's incoming? If so, I want to play one of these to make sure we have 6 mana next turn. So, I at least want 1 down. I'll just put all my eggs in a basket. Whatever. Because if they don't have an answer, they just die next turn anyway. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have played the other Innkeeper. So if I drew a land, I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, never mind. It still wouldn't have killed them. We'd have been 1 short. I was thinking I'd be able to fire breathe and kill the opponent, but that would not have been a thing. So, I guess we have to do this. That's fine, I guess. And we'll go ahead and play this. Alright. Think we're going to lead with Vorinclex. Or actually, no. I guess we're just going to go... Do we go Vorinclex into Hellkite, or do we just do Hellkite first? Actually, let's go Vorinclex. Alright. Oh, opponent doesn't even care. Usually, I'm not taking that. Does that mean they didn't have any Lifegain in hand? Or any other clerics? Yeah, he had a Fateful Absence. Alright. Well, that ain't gonna do it. I guess the good thing I did it in that order, so I'd come over the top flying. This was a very strange game, but it worked out in our favor. Alright. Sure. We'll need to draw at least one more land, though, to feel good about this hand. That should help. To some extent. Crab. So we're doing this, huh? Izzet Epiphany Mill? Sure. Ooh, those were all solid hits, too. Good job, opponent. Well, I guess if we know what we know, do we go ahead and just play the chariot? I mean, this feels like this is our best shot at racing. And if they just kill a chariot, and they kill a chariot, nothing we're going to do about it. I mean, we're just trying to withstand them copying, like, Tasha's whatever. Though, we do actually have a fair amount of expensive spells. So, we may not be that bad off. Opponent says, what if I get rid of a token? Then you won't be able to activate your chariot. Then what? And that theory is mostly sound. I think I want to play this, though, and give us a shot at casting the dragon next turn. I don't think we'll get to, but, you know, maybe. Yeah, sure. Alright. Seems legit. Alright. How many Fading Hopes do you have, opponent? Because that's what we're about to find out. We're at 40 cards. 41 cards. Well. We didn't get what we needed. So sad. So what do we do now? I mean, playing a chariot seems okay, but not exciting. Well, then we can't do that either. Dang it. We could play the crest and the chariot, but don't know if that gets us where we want to go. Opponent's still at 19. Alright. Oh, they don't have anything. Interesting. Okay. Well, now. That changes stuff a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and activate this. Oh, I can't. That has summoning sickness. Ah, dang it. I knew that as soon as I tapped it, too. Never mind. I was going to try to get down a Ringheart Crest so I could play this dragon next turn. I just have to draw a land the hard way, sadly. Alright, here comes a copied Hideous Laughter. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents they choose, or not chosen this way, to the owner's hands. I'm just going to keep this. Like, that seems correct. It's a card you don't see that often. Oh, what are we trying to do here? I guess we do this. Tap for green. Play that. Alright. Still in the same situation, waiting on a mana. Okay, well now this is going to get bad for us. Now we're probably a turn away from dead. There's not much we can do, unfortunately. Yep. Those are all cards we didn't really want, except for maybe one of those lands. I still found one, but I feel like it's too little too late. Probably just going to get bounced. Divide by 0 or some such. Yep. Alright. Let's move along. Ah. This is a case where going first would have been real nice. Going second's going to be a liability. Ooh. I was thinking maybe we get lucky and draw like Jaspera Sentinel there. Might have helped, but that's probably our only real out. Just Guy Mill. Yay, us. Well, I guess I got rid of the... We kind of want the expensive cards down at the bottom, though, for what they're going to be doing later. Alright, let's see what you're up to, opponent. Obviously playing a land and milling us for 3, but then what? Okay. Alright, nothing that we desperately wanted, at least. I don't know how we're going to be able to win this one. Ooh, Rowan. That's a good one. That's one you don't see too often. I dig that. Okay. Well, it's safe to attack. I mean, we get the treasures, so why not? I think the question here now, though, just becomes, do we want to... No, I think while shields are down, we just go ahead and chariot. And then if they sweep the board, or, I don't know, deal 2 to everything here, or whatever, so be it. At some point, you just kind of say, if you got it, you got it. Now, we can Bard Class, then level Bard Class, and then have 1 mana left over next turn. That's not going to be enough to do anything, unfortunately.
Art and combat aren't so different.
I think we're just going to attack with all the ground creatures into Rowan. If we get that opportunity. But it doesn't look like we're going to. Double play with fire, alright? That is what it is. Are we to believe the opponent has a Fading Hope here? Because they might. Do we really, though? I'm going to put the counters here. Just so we have more threats on the coming turns. Alright. They protected Rowan. That I guess they're going to minus Rowan here. Okay. So now can we do enough to just kill the opponent? Land into... I was going to say, burn down the house would have been pretty sick. Alright. I think we'll survive that. Alright. Yep, we have 11 cards left. Question is, can we do enough now? We can play this. Nope. We probably don't. If they have another Tasha's Hideous Laughter, we're just dead. We tap that, activate that, give this haste, get in for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Man, that's close, but not enough. So damn close, but definitely not enough. Put the counters here. Yep. Not quite. I mean, we go ahead and play this. If they got us for 11 cards, we're dead. Opponent GG's us. All right, cool. What can we do with this? Let's keep it. I mean, I think I'm gonna try to play the crest into Chariot. I think. I don't know how greedy that is, but let's find out. I mean, if there's a chance we're playing against the white aggro deck, then we want to be able to put as many bodies down as possible. Well, we're not playing against that, so yeah. Oh, well, we're playing against a creature deck, just not that type of creature deck. Interesting. Okay, well. Oh, I can't do that. Gosh damn it. It's forgot. It has to be for actual legendary creature, not legendary card. That does matter. Words matter. Okay, well, that was a little bit of a goof up. And I could have played Halana Elena, but I didn't want to run it out there by itself, not knowing what type of removal or whatever opponent's playing. Alright, that's reasonable, I suppose. Do I care? Nah, because if that's not dead, they can't replay it, and they get less out of their Catilda, so sure. Let's not worry about that at this particular point in time, or as they say, at this juncture. And we're going to attack. Now, this is where they're probably going to play like Borrowed Time and get rid of our Chariot. Because that would be the right play. Then maybe we get to unleash Halana and or something alongside it. Faithful Mending, going and putting stuff in the yard. Probably something you can recast as a spirit? No. Just some otherworldly gazes. Alright. Well, fair enough. Makes sense. Take our one. Okay, don't mind having Jaspera Sentinel here either. That's pretty nice. Alright, so this feels like it's starting to work out a little bit. Let's start with this. Alright, let's tap. Let's give the Tognar. Oh, they're like, no, you're not going to give the Tognar squat. Okay, they're just going to use that. That's fine. Tapping that, totally okay. We can live with that. We're going to make our Tognar big. And get in there. Opponent's just taking all of it. Interesting. So you're not going to sweep the board, or you would have just blocked with this, right? That's sort of what that tells us. Because otherwise, like, why wouldn't you have blocked if your plan was just to kill that anyway? Alright, so they're going to be able to tap two things. Fair enough. We can play cutesy games with them for a little bit. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to use a Faithful Mending, tap two things. Alright, this is cool. I don't hate this. Gives us a chance to make some treasure. Let's activate tapping this and this. And then I think I'm actually going to turn this into a 3/3. 1, 2, 3. Using the treasure. Since they're going to get to tap 2 things, this is just maximize the pressure and pain. Like, choose what you want to tap, the rest is coming. Yep. Yep. Oh, they got rid of the borrowed time. And a mischievous Geist. So they can actually... Huh. Dun 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 dun. Alright, sure. Still getting in there. I mean, you're going to have to attack and try to draw cards. That's fine. Leaves you fewer blockers. Ooh. They're not blocking with anything. Okay. I mean, they will get to gain some life, because they're going to play the Mischievous Geist, which is going to give them an aura, so that's a thing. Borrowed Time is probably going to get rid of Halana. Oh no, getting rid of Targnar. I would assume you get rid of Halana and Elena there. I mean, I guess Targnar pumps everybody when it attacks, so that's a thing. Okay, there you go. That makes more sense. But now you are tapped and not doing anything. You do get to gain 3 if you attack with Catilda. So that's something. Let's see. We turn this into a 3. Maybe. Well, it's only at 8 here. So, like, is the plan just turn our land into a 3/3 and attack with everybody? You block 1, block a 3, and take 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, alright. Plus whatever Halana and Elena does. I mean, makes sense. Put the counters on, I guess, this. And there's no good blocks. They're all lethal. Yeah, bonus deck was very neat and cohesive, but I think it's still just ball game. Gonna kill some things on the way out. Respect. Let's see if this is one of those games where we get to stick a big prismatic bridge. I don't know if that's the case or not. I would like for it to be, but there's definitely no guarantee. Alright, can we draw one more land? I guess technically we don't need one more land. This will still get us to 5 next turn. It would be highly convenient, though. Alright, get treasure. Alright, did find a land. Doesn't change anything, because 1, 2, this has to be white. Or some non-red green is really what it is. And then hit the prismatic bridge. Hope the opponent doesn't have a good answer for us here. Goal is going to be probably play in either Innkeeper into Chariot or Innkeeper into Elena. We'll see, depending on what comes off the deck with this prismatic bridge. But it's another 4/3 trampling body. But we are at 20, and we do have ways to gain life, so it's not the end of the world. They are going to Blizzard Brawl, which screws up our mana a little bit, so plans may have to change, unfortunately. That's not good for us. Another Jesperis set, Not great. So we can play this for 2. Leaves us 1, 2 mana. That won't get us there. We have access to 4 if we want to just Chariot. I think that's what we do. Mostly because if we don't use the wolves, we'll be able to use each of the Jaspera Sentinels for mana next turn. So I might actually activate Chariot and block here. Well, opponent's not going to let us, obviously. So that's not going to be a thing. Yep. This is a little bit of a concern because I think we have to block one of these. Oh, wait. Oh, I skipped past the blocking. We might die next turn if they have the growth that gives everything double attack power. Oh, we got to free a Helena. That's actually pretty good. But yeah, I was just thinking I needed to block 1 because now that's going to be 16 points of trampling damage, and we just may not be able to survive it. So now it's a much bigger problem. But we got a Helena and a Lena, so I guess we just do this. Activate this for green. Tap this. I don't even know if I want to use that treasure, actually. This is a tough one. Alright. I'm going to get green again. Tap this. And just maximize our opportunities. We are only at 7. I'm going to put this here, hoping that maybe we can block enough if they don't have gigantic growth or whatever. Ooh, Vorinclex is also bad. Also very bad. We did not want to see that either. But not dead bad, I don't think. Because we can take 6, right? We can do this. We can do this. Take 6. Lose that Helena and Elena. But we keep everything else. Alright, well, we drew cards we already had in hand. So that doesn't help us too much, all things considered. However, we can pump this, which is pretty sweet. So we had another Helena and Elena. Let's go ahead and play it. Probably... Man, I'm tempted to play this just to gain life. Being real with you. Okay, opponent gave up anyway. But, you know, a lot of times when people are saying, like, oh, the shuffler screwed them, or I got unlucky, or whatever, there's times where it's just like, well, you could have also made a small play or miss a thing. And, you know, that's not the deck's fault. That's not Arena's fault. Like, you just didn't do a thing. So, I mean, I get where the frustration comes from. But even for me, like, I've lost games many times that after the fact, I'm like, if I'd have done this, or I'd have done that, you know. So, I don't know. Alright. We did find a land. Sadly, we got to use our treasure, though. No attacks. Does our Helena and Elena get exiled? It does not. I'm very surprised by that. I would have put money that that was going to be one of the things, but apparently not. Okay. Do we make a big innkeeper? Or do we make a bigger Magda? I feel like if we innkeeper and attack... Yeah, let's put it on the innkeeper. Whatever. And then next turn, we'll pump Magda to a 4. We'll attack with both. assume Magda will die. We'll play Vorinclex after the attack's up. This is all assuming we draw land. Like, that would be fine for us. Oh, you want to get rid of that? Sure. Yeah, just go get another mountain, I guess. Alright, another aspirant. That is a big deal. Though, if they keep just putting it on the same creature, we're not going to care, really. Yeah, because we're always going to have an innkeeper that's bigger, unless they want to trade. And we're okay with trading. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. And then we're going to attack with these two. And just say, hey, you want to... Oh, they're not doing anything. What? Okay. Sure. That did not go at all like I thought it was going to go. We're obviously playing against a cleric deck, like all the signs are visible now, but wow. Now I want an untapped land, so when we put the counters from Halana and Elena, we can go bananas. That is not going to get us there. Opponent has a 6/6, so we can attack with a 6/6. 7/4 opponents. I mean, we got options, y'all. We got options. I think the real question is, do we want to attack with the chariot on this turn or not? I think the answer is yes. Then it just becomes who gets the +1/+1s from old Halana and Elena. Because Golvari can just trade, so we ain't worried about that. If they don't trade with Golvari and they want something else to block Innkeeper, we're kind of cool with that too. So I'm willing to put counters on the chariot and attack. Kind of have to, though, if we're going to activate chariot. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to put counters on. Otherwise, there'd be no point in activating it. Alright. Alright. Sounds good. So they're going to take 4 and then have the option of getting counters on Taborax and all that good stuff. Alright. I'm not sure what cards they're looking for, but we'll see. In the turn. I mean, they're only at 4, and we have a Vorinclex, so we're pretty good with that. All things considered. Yeah, Valkyrie's not enough. Yep, also not enough. I mean, if you assumed we didn't have Trample or anything else, then, like, maybe. But even then, that's not going to do it. Like, just what's on the board's lethal. Yeah. So, what are we looking to change? Honestly, not too much. Now, I think this more has a question to ask about the style of the deck more than the deck itself, and it's, is this better than just playing regular Gruul Aggro? I don't know that it is. I think both decks are very good, but Gruul Aggro does have some extra spot removal, which isn't inconsequential. Like, that spot removal is probably the difference in you winning a couple more games against the mono white or maybe even the mono green aggro decks. Whereas this version has more long-term, you can find more cards, you can draw extra things, right? And maybe that's better against these slower control and Epiphany decks, right? So it's kind of a tough call. Not sure which one I would go with. Personally, maybe if my feet were the fire, I'd probably play regular Gruul Aggro. But I actually enjoyed this deck a lot. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of interesting decisions. And like I said, it just kind of swung your odds to be more in favor of beating the non-white aggro decks versus beating the white aggro. Not saying you can't beat those, but there are going to be some draws where they just get a good start and you're lagging a little behind and you're going to struggle. But I mean, we managed to win some anyway, so I mean, make of it what you will. I think the deck's actually pretty reasonable either way. But if you already have regular Gruul aggro, maybe I don't play this. I don't know. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Ruric Thar. I mean, really, just look at it. He's glorious. Like, this card, like, I get it. If you were one of those combo-y players or you like playing all the planeswalkers, like doing whatever, but man, this card, I love this card in Commander. It at least forces things to move forward. Like, even if you have to become the arch enemy temporarily for people to come after you and try to get rid of your Ruric Thar, like, I like things that can at least force action. So yeah, this card's actually pretty sweet, and it's big. I mean, sizable in every way. Like, this card's actually pretty damn cool. So if you don't have one and you're playing red-green and you're playing a fair amount of creatures, maybe consider rolling up a Ruric Thar into your deck. Now don't forget, if you want today's deck list, it will be down in the description below, along with links to our Facebook gaming page, our Twitch streams, and our Discords. So if you want to come by any of those and ask any questions, or maybe get to be participant live while we're recording and getting footage for our videos, you can come do that as well. And if you'd be so kind and would like to support the channel, please check out our memberships down below, where the little join button is. And we have different things to offer there. Matter of fact, I may be putting up a 2-year video, because that's coming up pretty quick, for our members there. So check that out if you can. And please do not forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to choose all notifications to make sure you don't miss a video I have coming out. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.